Welcome back to Real Life Happens, Plants, Plants, and More Plants. Episode 2, Part 4, Hard to Kill Houseplants. It's our fair use disclaimer. Disclaimer, this is for entertainment purposes only. All the information contained in this presentation is readily available on the internet. The 4 things that all plants need: water, light, humidity, and temperature. What makes these plants hard to kill is that average household light, humidity, and temperature are perfect for them. When we talk about water, you can use filtered water, distilled water, or tap water on your plants. If your tap water contains chemicals, you can just allow it to sit out uncovered overnight to allow the chemicals to evaporate. Our first plant today is sago palm. Sago palms are popular houseplants known for their feathery foliage. They are not actually palms. They are considered part of the Casidae family dating back to prehistoric times, hence the plant's hardiness. These plants are easy to take care of. They like bright light, although they will tolerate low light conditions. They don't like being overwatered. These plants will get root rot and die if overwatered. Let the soil dry out between waterings. Our next plant is an asparagus fern. Asparagus fern. This plant is not actually a fern, but a member of the lilac family. These plants are natural air cleaners and make wonderful indoor plants. Asparagus fern care is easy. The frilly, feathery asparagus fern appears soft and fuzzy, although they have tiny, thorn-like spurs. Simply wear gloves when caring for these plants. These plants can produce small white flowers and tiny berries, and berries can be planted to grow more asparagus ferns. These plants like indirect light and moist soil. Be careful not to overwater. You can miss these plants between waterings. Light. Light can be natural sunlight or artificial light. You can place your plants throughout your living space or office depending on if you have windows or not. Most plants' leaves will sunburn if they are in direct bright light. Our next plant is the angel vine. Angel vines are sprawling evergreen shrubs with long, wiry stems. They are densely covered by small, round leaves. This plant can be trained to climb up a trellis or topiary. You can use florist's wire to tie loosely, and the angel vine will take on any shape you want. This plant loves direct sunlight and would also do well on a porch or patio. Water this plant when the soil is dry, about 1 inch down. Be careful not to overwater this plant or its leaves will turn yellow. Indoor humidity is fine for this beautiful plant. Next we have lemon prayer plant. Easy to get tongue-tied. The lemon prayer plant. What makes this plant so special is that at nighttime the leaves raise up to look like praying hands. In the morning, the leaves will straighten back out. These plants require indirect light. Water this plant weekly, keeping the soil moist but not saturated. Next we have the Alocasia polly. These plants are tropical plants that make a statement with their bold, arrowhead-shaped leaves and tall stems. These plants grow from bulbs, and even if they lose all of their leaves, they can sprout new leaves under the right conditions. They like bright, indirect light. Use well-draining soil with these plants because they like moist soil but not soaking wet. Humidity. Simply put, humidity means moisture in the air. Most houseplants are good with normal household humidity. If a plant requires more humidity, you can mist them every few days. Another way to increase the humidity in the air is with a pebble tray with water in it that will evaporate into the air. Or you can use actual what they call humidifier. Begonia Rex Jurassic Green Streak. That's a mouthful to say. These are beautiful plants, come in several different colors, but it would have say the color in the name. These gorgeous plants look as if someone has painted the color on their leaves. They like indirect lighting, well-draining soil, and to be watered evenly. You should allow the top inch of soil to dry out between waterings. Household temperatures and humidities are fine for these beauties. This is the Cathea medallion. These are tropical plants that live on the forest floor in the wild and make delightful houseplants. They thrive in medium to low light. Weekly waterings allow the topsoil to dry out before watering. You can mist this plant with lukewarm water between waterings. Do not let this plant dry out too much or be too wet. Next is the friendship plant. These are cute little compact plants. They're also known as Moon Valley Pila. This small houseplant will thrive in indirect bright light and normal household temperatures. It likes ample humidity and evenly moist soil. Allow this plant to dry out slightly in between waterings, and they love to be misted. Next, we have the Zebra Hawthornia, another cute little compact plant. This is the best succulent for a beginner to start off with. They thrive in medium to low light conditions. Water generously until the water runs out the bottom drainage holes. Dump out the excess water from the saucer under this plant. Allow the soil to dry out completely before watering again. Next, we're going to talk about the temperature. Most household plants will thrive in normal household temperatures. Some plants can stay outside most of the year, except during freezing temperatures. Other plants will prefer staying inside year-round. I have had to do trial and error to figure out my plants' likes and dislikes. I have enjoyed learning about all the plants that I have and want even more. Having living things around me makes me feel more alive. I hope you will enjoy your plants as much as I do mine. Next up, Christmas cactus. Christmas cactus is a native of southeastern Brazil. These plants grow on trees and rocks in habitats that are generally shady with high humidity. There are 3 holiday cacti that are very similar. The difference is in their leaf shape. Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Easter cacti are all 3 beautiful flowering plants. Only water about every 2 to 3 weeks, but only when the top 1/3 of the soil is dry to the touch. In order to produce blooms, these plants need to be in a dark area with a slightly cooler temperature for several weeks before the holiday. Their flowers can come in pink, red, and white colors. Next up, Prince of Orange. Prince of Orange is a philodendron. This plant gets its name from the color of its leaves. New growth starts out as a starburst of yellow and darkens into a copper hue before turning green. This plant is different from other philodendrons because it grows its leaves from the center rather than from its stems or vines. It likes bright indirect light. They need consistent watering to keep them slightly moist but not soggy. When women support each other, incredible things happen. Thank you for joining us. Real life happens. I hope you tune in next Tuesday night when we will start a new episode of pet friendly and pet poisonous plants. Tuesday nights, 7 o'clock, plants, and more plants. And also on Real Life Happens, Thursday nights, 7 o'clock, we have our women's health discussions. This coming Thursday night, we will have part 2 of episode 3, stress management. I hope you'll join us. Thank you and have a great day.